So what we have here, guys, is my new homepage that I made. This one is for Multicultural Lit class, but both of them are built the same exact way. And we'll go to American Lit in a minute. I did add an announcement little section here, so if you click on that, you'll see new announcements pop up. And there will only be, I think, 3 at a time at the top of the page. Right now, obviously, there's just the one. But I wanted to show you what all was on here. You can go, well, let's take it to American Lit for just a second. And you'll see that that looks almost exactly the same. The one thing I did want to mention for American Lit was that some of you guys are doing one of the Multicultural Lit activities because somehow it got in your to-do list. And I don't know how it got in your to-do list, but it shouldn't be there. So if you were looking at Phil K's poetry, it's a really cool poem, but you don't have to do that. Over on the right-hand side where it says to do, that's something that you don't, at least for my classes, you don't need to pay attention to. Because if you look at them, some of those things are really old. They have really old dates on them. So if there's something from, January, February that you didn't do, it's going to pop up there. Right here are the links that will take you to each different module. If you click on week 3, it takes you straight to week 3. Everything else is there also, but it shows you exactly where week 3 is. So instead of the to-do list, all you have to do is start at the top of the module and work your way through. So usually there are 2 activities. This week American Lit had 3. Because the third one was a test. Then at the top, all the time, I will keep this let me explain some things, which is just some important reminders. And I've put the date when those are posted, so you'll know when there's a new one that pops up. But if you scroll all the way down, you'll see everything here that you need. And we'll scroll back up. We can go back to the home page. And this, of course, is your American Lit. You can always click on modules and go there. Stay away from assignments. If you know what the title of the discussion is, you could click on discussions. But otherwise, if you just start from home, you should be pretty good. If you click on modules, it'll start you at the top of the page. So there you go. I thought I'd make a little checklist for you guys just to make sure we're all on the same page still. All the way back to March 16th, which was the first day of our school from home up to today. So this is for multicultural. For week 1, you had 2 activities. The first one was the Canvas text entry, and it was asking you, why do students feel the need to be perfect? And it's much more than that, actually. It's just hard to get all that into one little slide. But if you go back and look at that, it was a Canvas text entry. So if you notice you have 0, you don't have a grade for that, you may want to check week 1, activity 1. Week 1, activity 2 was to watch the Phil K spoken word poem and respond to that. All right, week 2, you had 2 activities that were graded. The first one was to complete all discussions for poetry groups. Now, those don't actually have a grade attached to them yet. They will. Right now, they just have some points. And I'll be adding all those final points up here and let you know the winning team after spring break. The second activity was to participate in the Journalist Code of Ethics discussion board, which many of you have done. Some of you haven't quite gotten in there yet. And then it wasn't a graded activity, but I did want you to get some background information on what we were going to be reading about. So there's a video documentary called The Devil's Highway that was in there for week 2. And then for this week, week 3, there was 2 things. Number 1 was to watch the 2 short videos about the writer and the photographer for Enrique's journey. And then, of course, chapter 1. And there were some questions. And those questions are just to keep you kind of thinking about what you're reading and to make sure you understand what's going on in the story. And that's it.